He says, he says that whoever of the Jews safeguard himself, sa'inan li nafsih, sa'inan, that the one who protects his soul, his spirit from corruption, any kind of corruption. Becoming corrupt materialistically is very easy, and at the same time very easy to recognize if someone becomes corrupt materialistically. But when it comes to the spirit and spiritual, it's very difficult. Because sometimes these diseases are within me like a seed in the ground. And when we have a seed in the ground, when the seed become a tree and start bearing the fruit, then there is a problem. So what are the diseases of the soul? For example, is jealousy, al-hasad, or both, which means the hate with other creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or takfir. There are so many things which is within the soul of the human beings. Now, Imam al-Islam says that among the fuqahas, first of all, when we say faqih, it does not mean any person. Faqih means a person who's holding minimum of 7 PhDs. 7 PhDs. Obviously, up to the level where the infallible can reach. The very first PhD is about Quran. When it comes to Quran, for us, the general public, then it is only the Quranic text. And if we go a bit further, then the translation. And if we go slightly further or a bit more further, then is the tafsir of Quran, which is the interpretation of that text. And after that, obviously, the level is very, very high. But when we say PhD in Quran, obviously there is no one among the non-infallible they can reach on a level to understand the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala meant something. It is only the realm of Masoom. But for non-infallibles, after 14 infallibles, yes, there is a stage for all the ulamas. According to their abilities, they can reach that state. So when it comes to the Quranic knowledge, not only the knowledge of the text, the knowledge of i'rab is one. I'rab is not fatha kasra dhamma. Because with the i'rab, you decide the nominative case, objective case, or possessive case. We know that nominative is when someone is doing something. Objective when there is something done on someone. And then we have possessive nouns and these things. These are very, very simple things. But the one who has the knowledge of Quran among the infallible, they have the knowledge of Quranic text, even though if Quran is not available before them, but they have the full knowledge. And then they know, if they are not Arab, in that case they know the translation of that, the meaning of that. Then the separate meanings of the words. This is another thing which comes within this Quranic knowledge for the fuqaha. Fuqaha means ayatullah, simply take this. So the faqih has the very first PhD is about Quran in such a depth that nobody is able to go into the depth unless the person is expert in that field. This is the first one. Then the second one is PhD. I'm using the word PhD, so we know that within our education system, PhD is the last stage. Otherwise, this is ongoing thing. Even after that, 60, 70 years of their education in Islam, they can go further because this is the ocean of knowledge. The next one is PhD in Hadith. When it comes to Hadith, then we have hundreds, thousands of saying of Masoomin. Al-Qawlu wal-Fi'l wal-Taqreer al-Masoom. Al-Qawlu wal-Fi'l wal-Taqreer. Qawl means the saying, Fi'l means the action, and Taqreer means the tacit approval of Masoom. When something was done before Masoom and Masoom was quiet. So that is Hadith as well. who is Maraj al-Taqlid, who is Faqih, who is Ayatullah, that he has got full PhD in Quran for a possible state of non-infallible, and then PhD in Hadith. Now, you have a text of Hadith. Is this the really text from the Holy Prophet or one of the Imam? And then this text is going with the Quran. Then this text is going with the aql, intelligence. It is not against the intelligence. There are 49 criteria before one hadith become authentic, and now the faqih, the mujtahid, he is able to give a decree, a fatwa, after 49 categories. So then this faqih can say, okay, I extract this thing from the principle of Islam or this thing from the branches of Islam. For example, Tawheed, Adalat, Nubuwwah, Imamah, Qayamat, Taqdeer, etc. and Salat, fasting, and etc. from this side. The third PhD is Ilmul Rijal. That means the faqih is expert in Ilmul Rijal. Ilmul Rijal, Rajul means men, Rijal means the plural for Rajul, which means men, Rajul, man, men. Ilmul Rijal, that we have a chain of narrators. For example, I heard from Nasir I heard from Abbas heard from Brother Ali and from Brother Tathir, and this chain goes back to one of Masoom. In this chain, for example, there are 40 narrators. The faqih knows all the biography of those narrators. I just want to explain who is faqih. When Imam al-Islam says that among our faqih, the one who protects his soul, this is the first quality. Okay. The next thing, first is Quran, second one is Hadith, and third is Ilmul Rijal. And then fiqh itself, another PhD. Fiqh is the ruling. What does that mean? That the faqih knows that ulamas from the 12 imams major occultation up to now, the fatwas they have given on certain rulings, what are those fatwas? He has the knowledge. This is itself a PhD. Then we have usul fiqh. Usul fiqh and fiqh are different than each other. Fiqh is the extraction, what coming out from usul fiqh. Usul fiqh are the principles that through these principles they extract the rulings. And then the sixth is logic. That aql there as well. Now we have logic in our normal study as well, and in Arabic we have mantiq, which is the name for logic in Arabic language. And then they have the philosophy as well. If you don't know logic, if you don't know philosophy, then you can't go into the depth, because philosophy is the knowledge of reality. फलसफा हकीकत का इल्म है. फलसफे के बगैर ना ही आपको फिक्र समझ में आ सकती है, ना ही आपको तौहीद समझ में आ सकती है, ना ही मारिफतुल्लाह समझ में आ सकती है. Without philosophy, we can't go anywhere. So, when Imam al-Islam says that among our faqih, among our mujtahideen, among our ayatullahs, among our maraj al-taqlid, the people they have these qualities. The first one is sa'inan li nafsih. The very first thing, they protect their soul from any kind of wrongdoing, any kind of corruption. This is the first quality. Now, alhamdulillah, we had 2 months and 8 days of Karbala. Today is the day of the fruit. What did we learn in those 68 days? And coincidentally, today is the night of Shahada of Imam al-Islam, and we picked up this saying of Imam al-Islam. What did we understand? We had those 68 days only to cry, only to do matam, only to come here after crying, matam, saying your prayer, reading a bit of Quran, taking niyaz, going back home, and this is it, wait for the next year? No. Seventh Imam says that every single day you must learn something new. If you do not learn something new every day, then you are not with us. You will be left behind. We have gone away from you. So the first thing is, who is Faqih with those 7 PhDs? Now, we know who is Faqih. The very first quality when it comes to the spirituality of a Faqih, first one is Sa'inal li nafsih, that the one who protects himself from any kind of inner corruption. Hafizan li deenih. What does that mean? That he is the one who protects his own religion, and he is the one who protects the religion for the other people as well. Imam al-Islam says that the ulamas, they are the father of our orphans. Ulama hamare yatimon ke baap hai. When he was asked that, Mullah, where is yatim? Are you talking about your own children? He said, no, all the Shias, they are our children, and without Imam, or if Imam is in minor or major occultation, they are like orphans, and they are the ulamas are the father of them. So Hafizan li deenih, they protect the religion, their own religion. And then in another hadith, Imam al-Islam says that our fuqaha, they are the soldiers who are standing on the border of Islam. When any kind of corruption comes towards Islam, they are there to protect Islam. For example, now this fatwa from Agha Ali came a few years back, that being the follower of the school of thought of Shia, you can't disrespect the other Muslim school of thought, their muqaddasat. Now we see, alhamdulillah, there is a majority, they accept it and they act upon it. But there are some people, they still do not accept it. None of the Shia who love Hussein, that they have the love of the enemy of Hussein al-Islam. Make this thing clear. And none of the Shia loves the enemies of Bibi Sayyida Salamullah. But either I become a person who is able to distinguish between right and wrong. If I can't become like this, then I must have the leadership which was given by the 11th and the 12th Imam. And that is Marajangir. That is Marajangir. That's why I picked up this one. Third one, Mukhalifun li hawahu, that he is the one who is against his desire. For example, if I read Majlis one day, everyone say, MashaAllah, MashaAllah, I feel like, if my height has gone up, and one day, if someone doesn't like it, Molana, what are you talking about? And then I go down. This is very, very naive of me. When it comes to the Faqih, they are on a level. Nothing make change in their decision when the decision is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There could be people like Ayatollah Bahjat, very tiny height, and bodily very weak, but when it comes to the intention and facing towards and going towards their goal, there is absolutely no compromise. It's absolutely no compromise. Imam Khomeini Rizwanullah alayhi, just some time before Zuhur, he heard the news that his son Mustafa Khomeini died on the border. People said that, Agha, your son died on the border. He didn't yell, he didn't say anything, he didn't beat himself up. He said, okay. He was for the sake of Allah and he gave his life in the way of Allah. And then after some time, when the time comes to Zuhr, he was leading the prayer absolutely normal like he used to do every day. Where do we get these stands from? If you ask Imam Khomeini, he said, Ma haj darim az ruze Ashura darim. Whatever we have, that is from Hussein al-Islam on the day of Ashura. If we are the follower of Hussein al-Islam, we all know that we will die one day. We all know this. I die, my son will die, my grandson will die. They all will die in their